inviting me to be a part of this wonderful celebration today by the dedicated volunteers of VTSeva. I first got introduced to Kiran, who has been doing wonderful work very silently for various causes as he comes across instances of kids or other people who are in urgent need of medical attention. He, in his own quiet way, goes about spreading the word amongst employees in Microsoft and inspiring them to contribute for those particular causes. The way I got involved was Kiran mentioned that he wanted to avail the benefit of matching that is provided by Microsoft for all charitable contributions by its employees. And I happened to volunteer at the Gurdwara in Renton. And about 8 years ago, I used to help out in the office with their computer stuff, helping maintain computers, typing out some letters. And one day, as I was there with other members of the committee, a lady walked in, and she was, you could tell, in a lot of misery. And she started telling about her situation. It seems her only son, with whom she was living in this country, who was probably a young man of 25 years of age, or perhaps closer to 30, and who was working in an adjoining town, he had passed away. And his body had been lying in a funeral home, and she did not have money to pay for his cremation. And she just, when she came and started talking, she just broke down. And it was a very heart-rending moment for everyone. And at that time, I, again sent out this email within Microsoft, and there was this real overwhelming support by all employees who chipped in to kind of pay for the last rites of this young man and raise some money for this lady. And it was then that we realized that we could really double the impact of the charitable nature of our employees by availing of the match. And that's when at the Gurdwara we, in accordance with Microsoft's regulations, set up a separate fund, which we named as Humanitarian Fund. And it was to meet Microsoft guidelines, and also in true nature of humanity, we said that this fund should really support anybody who's in need without any distinction of caste, religion, national origin, or color, any other type of such distinction. So I was able to work with Kiran to support some of these causes, and it appears that the dedicated volunteers at Microsoft have taken this to the next level now. They have set up VTSeva, and I continue to, I look forward to continue working with these dedicated volunteers. And Kiran and Reddy mentioned that if I could share some inspiration that I have received for kind of volunteering for these causes, because each of us probably have our own inspiration for contributing or for getting involved with such organizations. And I'm not a good speaker like Harivilas Prabhu, so I thought I'd look up some of the quotes that really inspired me. So if you'll bear with me, I'll read out some of the inspiring quotes. So the first one comes from Yogi Bhajan, who said that, as Harivilas Prabhu mentioned, all religious traditions have this kind of tradition to contribute part of our earnings for helping others. So Yogi Bhajan said that every spiritual path has an avenue of participation, an opportunity to give back through tithing, which is the tradition of giving 1/10 of your income for people in need. While tithing is traditionally 1/10 of one's income, many people give whatever amount they can. The principle of tithing is that if you give to infinity, infinity in turn will give back to you. It is a spiritual practice through which you build trust in the ability of the universe to respond to the energy that you give. I also came across a couple of beautiful paragraphs by a gentleman, Nick Kettles, and I think he really explained this very beautifully. So I'll read out a couple of paragraphs and then I'll close my speech here. So Nick Kettles said that tithing is 10% of your income before the bills, rent, food, etc. are paid. Now, obviously, it does not include the taxes we pay to the government. That's more of you paying for the services that you get. So tithing in its true form can be differentiated from any other form of monetary gift because the giver is asked to consider the money has been returned to the source in recognition that is where it originated. Not unlike the farmer who knows the wisdom of returning a portion of their harvested seed to the earth to enrich the soil. Regardless of belief system, the only way such an act can be made is fearlessly, before any bills or other needs are met, even if at the time of giving the remaining 90% will not be enough. In requiring the giver to let go of their attachment to how their remaining needs will be met, the act of tithing invites a greater power to move through their lives. When we do this, we face our fear at the most fundamental level of life. We confront our fear of losing what status or livelihood we may have already acquired. But we also confront another fear many will hardly be aware of. That, in fact, we are not forsaken or alone in the universe. That, in truth, there is a divine agency which is abundant in nature and apparently generous by accord, happy to provide for our needs, rich or poor, if given the chance, as so much religious scripture has suggested it will. Lord Francis Bacon once said, "Money is a great treasure that only increases as you give it away." It remains for the bold to discover this truth through their own experience. Tithing at a basic level is a prosperity principle, but in truth it is a spiritual discipline. Like any spiritual practice, the best way to practice is on a regular basis. Taking up the practice of meditation and practicing when we feel like it will lead nowhere. But daily practice will, over time, cultivate great peace and contentment. The same is true of tithing. When we tithe, we start to cultivate the awareness which will in time open us a channel or conduit through which the source can move. In time, the tither may too realize that the source actually desires to move through them, significantly increasing their wealth. Not increased as a special reward for having done a good deed, but that simply through practice they have become more receptive and therefore are able to give more. So I thought these were very beautiful words, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share them with you. Again, I thank you for your patience and bearing with me. And once again, thank you for inviting me to participate in this beautiful celebration. Thank you.